We heard you say it was uncomfortable. How uncomfortable was that run and couple runs for you, Marco?
For practice, it's not worth it. But if we were really on the clock, I mean, you stay out, but you have to be smart. And as long as you get the read. But it's really weird that we're not actually feeling the added downforce. We're still at reasonable wing angles and already hanging on. So, and we see that with even the faster guys, even though their cars are faster. There's still lap 3 and 4 it's going to come down to, and it's so tight. It's, I think, 0.2 of a mile an hour is going to be 3 rows.
I love watching McLaughlin's lap with you and Mario. You guys are sitting there kind of bench racing and talking about what McLaughlin's fighting with out there. How much do you use him as a resource when you're watching and kind of learning what you're doing and what other people are doing?
Well, I mean, he has 12 more starts than me at this place, so I mean, I have a lot of knowledge, down the pit lane. We have feel like we have a third of the field with all of our cars as well, so yeah, taking it all in.
All right, Marco's going to head back to the garage area and sort of work on the car right now. A set down, as we've talked about all week long, Dave.
Conor Daly has stepped out of the 20 car and still the best 4-lap average. How nice is it to get a full run like that out of the way early?
Well, I mean, if you remember last year's Fast Friday, I think we all thought we were going to really just probably poop our pants because it was so scary here last year. But it's a little bit more calm today. It's still tough, though, man. I mean, these 4 laps are a real challenge. Once you get to 4, the tires are gone, and you're just basically trying to hang on. So, I was actually really pleased with that first run, just the consistency of the first 3 laps, and I just made a mistake on the last lap. So, you're literally riding the knife edge, and turn 3 is the devil right now. So turn 3 is definitely a real, it's a tough one for us, but solid first run for us. So it's just good. We want to be sure to do almost as few runs as we need today so we feel good tomorrow. And qualifying's always been my nemesis, so I want to make sure that we leave here confident.
And turn 3 was where that little dance with the devil happened, that mistake?
Yeah, just you try to set yourself up with the tools in the car for turn 4 because it's quite free in turn 4. So instead of going to what I went to in 3, probably should have just waited till 4. So, but that's what practice is for. So we'll see. I see a lot of people dropping off though, which is interesting. I mean, Ganassi's. I mean it's insane what they're doing. But I think we are going to be quite good here. Renus had a really good first couple laps on his run. So it'll be tight as usual.
Great. Thanks, Conor. Good start for them.
This has looked like in Chip Ganassi Racing. They're fast for 1 lap.
Well, let's chat with his teammate Marcus Ericsson. Just had a chat with Brad Goldberg after your run. Boy, it seemed like a handful at the end of it. How much of a handful was it?
Yeah, it was a bit more of a handful than I would like. I think the first 2 laps was pretty good, and then we just had the rear started to step out a bit on me on lap 3, and I was thinking of going, bailing like most people do, but I don't know. I like to do the whole four laps if I can. I just started to lift a little bit. But just for me to get the feeling on how the car behaves on lap 3 and 4, how the tires behave, for me it's valuable information for later today and tomorrow and Sunday. So that's why I tried to do 4 laps. I think lap 3 and 4 was obviously not ideal, but still good information for me and the team.
It's becoming more and more evident that the 3rd and 4th laps are going to be very difficult tomorrow. Is it a trim setting thing? Is it the heat today? I mean, what do you think is causing that? And was it an issue earlier in the week in practice?
I mean, we've only been race running. We only did a short run, a 4-lap run last night in sort of quali spec. So that's what we have to find out today, because it's definitely been different this year with the aero specs that we have and the way the car behaves. Every year is different here for different reasons. So I think that it seems a bit trickier to do 4 laps. I mean, you look at everyone; it's not many that's done 4 laps, competitive laps. So it could be interesting for the weekend.
Now that we're 3 full days into practice, have you totally immersed yourself in 2023, or are you still thinking a little bit about 2022 and the win?
I have the 2022 win here in my back of my head somewhere, and that gives me a good confidence. And I try and remind myself of it sometimes, and it gives me a good boost. But of course, it's a new race, it's a new year. We need to try and go back to back. That's what we're here for, and we feel like we're in a good spot to do it, but it's going to be a tough next couple of weeks.
Townsend, you can be in the middle of practice for 1 year and still think about what happened last year if you're Marcus Ericsson, the defending winner of the 500.
Yeah.
Also, when we were chatting earlier back in the garage, you're like, I don't know what to expect once we get this extra 100 horsepower almost. So was it as good and as stuck as it looked like to us?
Yeah, it was wide open for the 4 laps. Car was good balance. It was fast on the first lap, which was really cool to see a 30. I've never seen a 33 in my life. So I saw that come up. I thought, oh, okay, we got some speed. But yeah, we'll just do that run, go back, try some different aero configurations for the different weather tomorrow and Sunday. Yeah, not do much, honestly. Kind of in a reasonable window. Don't want to sort of go in a circle or get in a tailspin.
How do you compare this? I can't help but to think a couple of years ago, Will, when you were struggling just to make the field. How different is this feeling on Friday to be where you are right now?
I haven't had a feeling of being able to get pole for years. For years, I haven't had the feeling like we actually have a shot at pole. Maybe we do. Maybe we do. But at least top 12.
So you're opening the hope that you might be fighting for the pole Sunday.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. But definitely top 12. I think we'd be disappointed if we didn't get in there with all the work that the team has done.
You know, Diff, as long as you and I have known Will, I mean, I can hear the hesitation in his voice. He goes, I know we're there, but I don't want to say it publicly, but I feel like we have a shot legitimately on Sunday to win the pole for the 500.
For rookie Benjamin Pedersen, must be the throwback suit from A.J. Foyt. Look at that, back from the 80s. And a 24-year-old wearing it now for his first 500. Is that where the speed secret was?
That's a good point. I don't think I'm ever going to take this off again. No, I mean, today's my first day ever with the added boost. My first ever Fast Friday, but we did our first run. It was pretty okay, but like just lacking a bit of grip, and I just said what I felt car-wise, and they did a great job with making a couple adjustments, and then I went out there again. It was just so much grip, and the thing just pulled. So, yeah, I knew we were fast, but it feels really cool now that we kind of are showing it. So. Car's feeling really good. Team's done an awesome job, and yeah, I'm loving every minute.
Benjamin, can you explain to us how hard you work to make sure a run like that, when you know you have a fast car, comes off perfectly when you haven't done it before?
It's a great question. I just said what I felt after the first run. And yeah, my engineer and honestly working together with the other stand, you know, they're a little bit ahead of us in terms of timing, so we're working very closely together to make the right adjustments, and it was just super hooked up, and I think we were one of the fastest on definitely 4-lap averages, so yeah, I'm all smiles.
It's early, but good-looking stuff from A.J. Foyt Racing.
Hey, Dave.
We were just discussing, I wonder if the Penske's are good or if they're not good. You know, we saw Will's lap, and then we saw that. I guess they're okay. How are you guys right now?
Honestly, I feel all right. I don't think we're struggling so much with the balance. We're just clearly not quick enough at the moment. But again, now there's room to trim, which is always good. But at the same time, we got to stick to our run plan today and get through it, and then learn as much as possible. But we're definitely not the fastest car out there today, unfortunately.
Listen to you talking about sticking to the plan. You're one of the most even-keeled 21-year-olds I've met. Doing this, how do you keep that mentality and just know that the program, the process is what you have to do?
Because it's so easy to go out there and scare yourself. And that's this place. It's all about confidence, and it's all about just getting through it and commit to it. And you can't commit to it if you're uncomfortable. So at the moment, we're very comfortable. We were comfortable yesterday across all 4 cars, really. So I think Graham at this point is struggling a bit more. There might be something on his car because he looks a little off compared to the rest 3 of us. And he's been saying that as well. So we'll go back and see. And right now, I think we're going to go out for another one before we head back, and then we'll see where that is. But comfortable in the car, just not fast enough. So we're trying to get some speed into that car.
All right, we'll see what they can do next time Christian heads into the 45 car, that black and red Hy-Vee.
Here's Kevin Lee with Kyle Kirkwood. Kev, that was a pretty good run.
Real good run. 3rd quick lap, but even better, it was consistent. You got 4 of them?
Yeah, that's right. Super happy with that. That was the quickest 4-lap average so far set today, although I think the track is getting a little bit quicker as we get through the day. Some cloud cover came in, helped track temp a little bit. But we're happy with the car. We know it's fast. I don't think there's really anyone else out there at the moment that's better than this AutoNation Honda. So we're excited for this, and we're still making improvements, and we still think we can get it better. We don't feel like we're at the limit yet, so we're getting there.
Everybody tries to do some qualifying simulations at the lower horsepower. the first couple of days. Did you have a sense of where you're at, or do you really need to get into this configuration to confirm it?
No, we've got a good reference, right? What the car is going to do when we start going about 10 miles per hour quicker, like we were today. So it's still good to do those quality sims. I know Penske did a lot of them yesterday and preparation to today, and they're obviously quick. So there's a good reason for doing it. It's not identically the same, and you're definitely more scared when you go down into turn 1 the first time, going a lot quicker. But you know what the balance is going to do with that extra speed and extra downforce, et cetera, et cetera.
The booth has a question. I'll pass along. Go ahead, Diff.
Kevy, I'm keen to know what his confidence level is like now that he is an IndyCar race winner coming back to his second Indy 500.
So, second Indy 500, that's one thing, but does the confidence level change now that you're an IndyCar race winner? What's different than, say, maybe it was a month and a half ago?
It makes it feel like I'm meant to be in the series. That's the main thing, because it's always a question mark. I think as you're coming up, you're like, are you as good as these guys, and how is your junior category relate to them, because you didn't race against them ever, and having that first win with Andretti Autosport definitely boosted my confidence, boosted my mood. It boosted the confidence of the people around me too. That's also big, when you have a team around you that know, or you're looking for wins always, changes kind of the aura around you, and I think that has shown in the past weekends, and we've been fast everywhere that we've shown up. We're fast here at the Speedway, and everyone's working hard because we know we've got a win-capable team around us.
I think everyone knew you belonged, but it is always good to confirm it. Thank you, Kyle. And Dylan, I talked about the story, and we've detailed what is happening, but I think you'll have more insight. This is Ricardo Juncos, one of the team owners for Juncos Hollinger. How big of a challenge is this to convert a car that's not been on track one day before Indianapolis 500 qualifying?
Yeah, obviously it's not the ideal situation, but we have to do it because clearly there is something wrong with the actual chassis. That's what we believe. After trying our best during the week, we have to make a change because it's actually not safe the way it is now. So I think we're always going to put safe first. Safety is going to be first for our drivers and always going to be that way. So the car we're going to shift to is the one we use in the open test here in April, and it's been running with no problem. That's what we know. So we're going to put that one. The reason why we have this one is a brand new car. That's why we believe it's going to be 0 mileage. But unfortunately, we decided that something is wrong, and we have to shift the car.
So this is the car that Callum ran in the April open test that you're changing to? Is that right?
No.
Okay, I was going to say, because that car was also not working well. Has the car that's going to be on track tomorrow or Sunday, has it ever been on track before?
That's the car Agustin Canapino used on the test. Open.
Oh, the Canapino used.
Canapino's Argentinian car is a different car, so the one Agustin ran that was actually very good is the one we're going to put for Callum, because this one obviously something is wrong, and we have to put safety first, and the car is not running good in the whole week.
So beyond changing the engine, what else is involved in getting this car ready to be on track and try to find pace and beat somebody?
Oh, it's a very difficult situation. It's not the ideal situation, and we were thinking that we're going to fix it, but obviously no, we got to pull the trigger at some point, and it's a big challenge for the mechanics, so I want to thank them a lot. It's not the ideal situation. You have to check pretty much everything, right, to make sure everything is fine, and the fine-tuning, all the setups and the measurements and everything takes hours and hours and hours to make sure, and tomorrow we got to qualify. So it's not the ideal situation, but I think the way it is now is not even safe, so we have to do it.
Thank you, Ricardo. Good luck.
Thank you.
Oh, boy, that is...
We caught up with Pato Award, who we saw his 4-lap run a little bit ago. So we saw you get to the last lap and then kind of have to bail out and lift. What is that feeling like where you get to the threshold of grip and you have to kind of make a decision on if you want to continue or not?
That wall approaches really fast. It was a solid run for us. I was happy to see that we were able to complete 4 laps, and the speed that we're seeing is good. We still have some room to trim, and we just have to get it a little bit better into the window for all 4 laps. But we're in good shape. If it wasn't for that massive lift, I think we would have been quite a ways better, at least on that 4th lap. So that brings your average back up by a lot. So I think we're in good shape. All 4 cars seem to be strong. So yeah.
It seems like all 4 cars are kind of right there on the edge, or close to being really, really, really good. I mean, I think you guys are good right now, but do you feel like there's just a little bit more kind of across the board here that you guys need to find?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, I think it just puts a lot of emphasis to to how good you have to get that, either the front wing or just those aero balances in the window, because the degs does seem to be a fairly big factor, at least in the fourth lap. So I think we're all right.
All right, I want to have you look at something here on our monitor. We talked about the pranks and, of course, everything that happens in the DO lot. What happened to your scooter here on the handlebars?
My scooter got pimped out. I was disappointed to hear that it wasn't Rossi. So I don't know who it was. Those pom-poms got super glued to the side. So I guess they're going to stay there for the rest of the month.
All right, Lee has a question upstairs for you. I'll relay. Go ahead, Diff.
Hey, Dylan, ask him to grab his helmet. Is his helmet and his hands device close by?
Or is your helmet close by, or is it in the bag?
Tell him to grab his...
there it is. He's going to grab it, I think. Oh, no, okay, never mind. We're going to wave it off, I think. Oh, no.
Have a look at this.
Diff wants to...
This is hand-painted. It is incredibly intricate.
Oh, wow.
This is beautiful. And, Dylan, feel it. You actually feel the texture of the paint.
Textured. Yeah,
it's
that
incredible.
Is amazing.
Yeah, this is... everything was hand done, and it was done in Mexico, Oaxaca, Mexico.
Wow.
I'm so happy of how it looks. It's the coolest helmet I've ever had, for sure.
It's awesome. Yeah, the Aero McLaren.
Another group trying to make it in with both cars. Stefan Wilson stands by with me. And you mentioned to me there was a plan today to try different things. You can do that when you have a teammate. Where did that circle back to, and what has he got now, as far as you know?
Yeah, so we started off the day on a very similar package to each other. We both were unhappy after that first run, so at that point we decided to go very different directions. Ryan went one way, I went the other, and all week our feedback has been really similar to each other. So, I found things that he's enjoyed when he's put on his car, and vice versa. So this is the benefit of having two drivers that are very similar driving style. He's trying something right now. We're going to it as well. It worked for him, so we're going to put it on our car, and hopefully it works for us too.
I was going to say, if he doesn't like it, although he is staying out at this point, if he doesn't like it, is there time to switch it out of your car again?
No, I think we're very much committed down this path now. His feedback was so positive that we're very confident that we're going to put it on ours and we're going to like it. So, we're just been unhappy with the direction we went. His direction ended up being a lot more positive and a lot more fruitful. So it's great that we can switch back, go to his setup, and hopefully emulate those kind of times.
And Steph, I've heard you talk about how this is yet another one time at the Indy 500, and yet this one is so much better because you had the test, because you have Ryan as a teammate, right?
Yeah, exactly. We're definitely a bit ahead of the game this time around, but we were really happy with the race car. We were kind of happy with the qualifying car yesterday, but today when we've upped the boost, and I think it's got a lot hotter today, it's just really highlighted some areas where the setup that we're on just wasn't working for us. So, we're going to throw this at it and get back out there, see what the Keepers QC Motorsports Drive Ryan Ball number 24 Chevy can do.
Thanks.
Yeah, it was a good final run. We had a really disastrous first run. You always come out of the gate feeling really excited for today. The boost is up, and it was a bad first run. We missed the balance. Came back and had a really pretty good second run, and then we knew we needed to do one more and get it really right. And I felt like the shell car was pretty solid. I mean, it's hard to say today. I think indications look better today than they did on Fast Friday last year, but this is going to be more of a fight to get into the top 12 this year. If you look at the cluster of people that are, really tight together, it's much trickier than what it looked like last year. So, we got to be really on it. We got to, nail our run tomorrow. I think the first run's always critical, depending on where you draw. But so far, so good. I think Team Chevy's done a stellar job for us as always, and I hope we can have a good fight to get this thing into the Sunday show.
Got a couple things for you. You guys threw another set of stickers on there. Luke was planning on another run. Did you guys bail on the run, or did it turn into a balance check? Like, what happened on that second run there?
We were just scrubbing race tires.
Oh, come on now.
No, we needed a balance check, an additional config for tomorrow, and it's good to be able to get that in, especially depending on what you're going to do in the morning tomorrow. It's just nice to get that final balance check on a different look, and that's what today's for. We tried to keep the miles off the car, and we didn't have to run too much, and I think we got all the information that we needed, which was critical.
You also said, what happened in T2, we can fix that. What did you mean, turn 2? Like, we heard you lift over there.
Yeah, as that last lap, it was like, I would have loved to. I wasn't flat in the last lap, and I think our average actually could have been better than what we showed there. But we can fix it. It was just a small detail, and the details are going to add up. I think tomorrow is going to be obviously very different complexity with the temperature, but yeah, we'll just clean it up a little bit more and hopefully be that little bit better.
Which begs the question, do you practice at 54 degrees or not?
That's a great question. I think everybody should practice. That's what I would recommend for everybody else.
Which means that you're not practicing, right?
Who knows? Who knows?
There you go. So that's two drivers we've heard Townsend say they are not going to practice tomorrow. Pato and now Josef Newgarden. But there's no doubt, all of that aside, Team Penske is here and they have a shot at the pole, and you haven't been able to say that for the last few years.
Second right now on the 4-lap average timesheet. So how pleased were you with what your car did over the course of that 4-lap run?
Yeah, I was pretty happy, to be honest. Earlier today, I was struggling a little bit. Like, the car was fast, but I just couldn't do 4 laps. You know, the lap 3 and 4, I just couldn't hold on. So it was nice to, you know, the team did a good job there to make some changes. We had to analyze a bit the data and the video, and we did some good changes. And to come out here in the end and just get a solid run, solid 4 laps. Still a little bit too much drop-off, but you know, a lot happier with that, and you know, right up there again. So that was it was a good end of the day.
The conditions are maybe a little unknown for tomorrow, or you know, regardless, they're always different here depending on the day. So what can you as the driver do to replicate a run like that as best you can tomorrow?
No, but it's about preparing with what we have, right? We can change the conditions today for tomorrow. So I think now in the end, you know, it's cooled down a little bit. So that should be a bit more to what it's going to be tomorrow, because it should be cooler temps. But the sun should be out at the same time. So, you know, we have to see. There's always, if it rain overnight, what's that going to do with the track? So.
I had a tire fall off the. Oh, we did. Oh no, we had a tire fall off one of the team carts over here.
But yeah, I think, you know, it was, like I said, for us, we need to go through everything. It was nice for my confidence to do 4 solid laps where I could keep my foot down, and again, like I said, the car was feeling good.
Looks like a handful, though. You're willing to run it all the way to the wall, but clearly has a lot of speed. But how much of a handful is it, Taku, to get that speed out of it?
It was on edge, yeah, for sure. The beginning of the run today in the first line was clearly too light. And the middle run, I was putting more downforce, was getting more comfortable. But end of the day, I think I wanted to try to find the limit again. So we went to a little bit sketchy one again. So I had to lift in the end turn 4. But overall, I think we were very satisfied with our performance, and we gathered the data tonight.
Takuma Sato fastest, and about 5 minutes to go, Dave. I would say it's going to be hard to knock him.
Jack, how would you sum up the whole day?
How do I sum up today? Not very good, I don't think, honestly. I think the number 30 Peabody car has got some speed to find overnight, and I'm not exactly sure what happened at the end there. We haven't just got the data to try and dissect it with Honda and everyone at HPD and just figure out what happened and, you know, how we can try and fix it for tomorrow.
You know, they had a long night tonight analyzing everything. How do you stay strong?
It's a privilege to do this in the first place, man. I mean, no matter what's going on, never really lose sight of it. I'm grateful to be one of the drivers trying to get in the race. You know, how do you stay strong? You stay optimistic that hopefully tomorrow's a better day than today.
Well said. Thanks, Jack. Dylan?
Got up with Scott Dixon. What happened on that last run?
Car balance is pretty good. We ran into a pretty big issue there. So unfortunately, couldn't run the last 2 laps, or even the 3rd lap was kind of compromised there. Car feels like it's got decent speed. Was actually pretty nice to drive, but yeah, we'll have to see what tomorrow brings. We'll see if we can overcome this hurdle.
I was gonna say, is that an issue that is concerning for tomorrow?
It'll definitely put us on the back foot a bit.
All right, thank you, Scott. We'll keep our eye on that tomorrow.
What do we have in our toolkit? Temperature management might be the difference, as we see the 4-lap averages from today, and they are so tight.
What I love about it, in the top 6, 3 Hondas, 3 Chevys.
Yeah, really good.
It's a much more even spread than what we've seen in qualifying trim at the 500 for the last few seasons. And it's going to make for a very, very exciting top 12 and then Firestone Fast 6 shootout on Sunday.
Remember, multi-phase and multi-day is what we're talking about. Tomorrow, the field of 13 to 30 will be locked in. That is set for the 107th running.
How about this guy right here, Canapino, too? That was a pretty awesome run. I mean, amazing.
And then we're back Sunday for the Fast 12, Fast 6, and then the last chance qualifier. When you get back into these numbers, that's what we're talking about. For the field of 33, there will be one driver, one car miss out on the 107th running of the Indianapolis 500. That'll be determined on Sunday. So outright one-lap speeds. Look at that. Takuma Sato, 234.7 miles an hour. And let's just revisit another magical number. Turn 3 entry speed. Pato award today, 243 miles an hour. Sublime.